Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. I've got another special nature walk for you today, and I'm going to spin you around here in a second to show you why Paradise Valley is called Paradise Valley. But I just want to do a little intro and let you know that we're going to go up into this drainage, and I'm going to share some stuff. We're going to find some things, so stick around and see what that's going to look like. But first, let's spin you around and show you Paradise Valley. In fact, let's walk down this way a little bit. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more here, but first, we're looking across the way at the Hogback. And to the right of the Hogback is a road going up into the hills. That's Strickland Road. And I filmed that earlier in the year. You can see the Yellowstone River winding its way down there. It is a breezy day today for our nature walk. But that's okay. I'm gonna wear some gloves here in a second. The audio might be a little windy, but that's okay. So, let's spin you around here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, your co-discoverer. So I'm gonna spin you around again. Hopefully not too fast for those of you on a treadmill. And come on now, let me do that. There we go. This is a trail I've hiked before and filmed for you guys, and in the summer though, so I thought I'd come back in the winter. I forget who it was, one of our Patreon supporters, I think, suggested I do some walks in different seasons to show the difference and the variability here. It is not warm. In fact, it's 32 degrees Celsius. Always do that. 30 degrees to, let me try that again. 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Let me show you this little system they have for unlocking these gates. We're on the Forest Service land here, and the rule for gates here in Montana is, because there's a lot of livestock around, if you find a gate open, you leave it open. If you find a gate closed, you leave it closed. Pretty simple stuff. It's about 10:30 in the morning, and mid-December, I'd say. And back to the temperatures, while it's not warm, it has been consistently this month 10 to 20 degrees warmer than normal, which is a little weird because normally we'd have a lot more snow, a lot more cold, but hey, we've got the wind, so there's that. This is the Deep Creek Trail. There's a Deep Creek Bench, Deep Creek Road, Lower Deep Creek Road, something like that. There's about 3 different Deep Creeks accesses to, that's not the right word, 3 different, I would say roads, I guess. This one has a trailhead. Others have residences and other things. Whew. I did not bring my yak tracks today on the Palisade Falls hike. Someone asked about those. I should have, because it's a little snowier than I expected, but that's okay. You're gonna have to pardon my huffing and puffing a little bit. I will link to the other summertime Deep Creek walk on the webpage where this video is going to live on our blog, Virtual Tours, citywalksvirtualtours.com. Whoops. Here we go. Oh, I just love these views, and the snow makes it, gives a lot of contrast to it. And then the clouds give this sort of ominous look to it. Pretty cool vibe. Oh, I was gonna put my gloves on. have to use my mouth to put my gloves on here. Oh, look at that view. So you're looking north, and through that V in the center there, that's the canyon that the river flows through into Livingston. That gap over there with this steep mountain to the right, that's Pine Creek and George Lake Trail, which I did 2 weeks ago, I guess. I'll link to those as well. I want to thank our Patreon supporters. May not seem like much to you, but it really does make a huge difference to me in just letting me know that there's value to these for people, which is great. I love your comments. And for those of you making one-time donations, I certainly appreciate that as well. It's always a nice surprise. You can see the links down in the description below. Pardon my heavy breathing. It is a little steep, and we're at about, I'd say 4,800 feet of elevation. So, a little less oxygen. And I could probably be in better shape. Sorry, I want to show you, one of the things I like to do on this channel is show little details, and I think these are rose hips, these little red berries in here, if you can see those. Great food for wildlife and little critters. And I think you can harvest them too and do some fun food stuff with those. My wife, at Traveling Mel, knows a lot about that stuff. At Traveling Mel MT on Instagram. I've been giving shout outs to our cat, our new kitten that has an Instagram as well, Senator.Penelope. And when I showed myself earlier, you may have noticed a little scratch on my nose. And that's because I got out of line and needed some chastisement. Or she just wanted to play. I also want to give a shout out to, and this kind of made my day. It's absolutely silly and ridiculous, but I was just went into this Quickie Mart type place, gas station that I go to for snacks and junk food, and their guy there was like, I've been going in there for years. And the guy's like, "Hey, are you that video guy?" And I'm a filmmaker, so It's a small town, so I didn't know what he meant. And I was like, excuse me? And he said, you know, the walks. And he had been watching this channel and actually putting up the videos sometimes on the TV they have there in the store. And I just thought that was kind of awesome. Made my day. Alan, this is your shout out. Thanks for bringing a little smile to my face. Here's another. Here we go. This is just a simple latch system. This will be interesting doing this one-handed. I'm gonna stop. Okay, back here. Those latches are a little tougher to do while holding the camera, so I gave myself a little break. Look, here's this view again. Get my glove on. Oh, it's just so expansive. I'm going to talk about the dead timber up here in a little bit when we get up into it. I love to talk on these things for some reason. I think it's cathartic, maybe. But I also try to remember that in these nature hikes, part of the fun is just seeing and listening to the sounds. Pardon me. I showed you those rose hips before. You can see a lot of these other sort of dead flower deals. Really interesting detail in a lot of these things. To me. Hope you guys find them interesting. I was tasked, or requested, by Tom to learn more about winter ecology and share that. And I have a book, which of course the title I'm forgetting now, that I had read. It was really good. And I thought we had a copy, but I haven't been able to find it. So I haven't forgotten, but haven't done anything about it either. So it goes. I believe those trees are Douglas fir. They could be spruce, but I think they're Douglas fir. See a trail marker here. A little steep bit before we drop down the other side. If you're new to the channel, please let me know how you found us. I would find that very interesting. Someone the other day, let's take a look back here, mentioned they were searching for videos for Treadmill, and that's enormously useful to me. So thank you. All right. Oh, it's beautiful. Austere, but beautiful. There we go. All right, one little hump here, and then we'll get into this stuff I was going to tell you about. These are, of course, aspen trees. And then we get into these pine trees. And you'll notice, maybe, the blackened bark of some of these, especially that big guy right there. And as we walk, you'll see more. There was a big fire up here, I want to say 2012, maybe, somewhere in there, Pine Creek fire, or Deep Creek fire. And this is still in the process of recovering. It's interesting to see the succession here. Some of these little guys might have been, little trees might have been started, but this whole section over in here is the season after that fire. And the reason they can be so dense here, so packed in, is because those older trees, the overstory is letting light in now because they're gone. And it allows these young'uns to sprout up. See an old, I don't know if it's a logging road or a ranch road, probably a logging road, Forest Service road over there. Not sure where that starts out or how you would access it. Might be a fun place to ski. Looks like it might be private road, at least part of it. See an old vehicle down there from the 40s or 50s. One of the things this fire has done by clearing out the overstory as we get into the Deep Creek Canyon here is give us this amazing view. Looking back into the mountains here. We are descending here to a bit of a grade, not too bad. Despite my huffing and puffing, this trail is pretty accessible. And even if you're even more out of shape than I am, which is fine, we all do what we can. If you take your time, you can. It's not dangerous or complicated It's very easy to follow, and I encourage you to, if you visit this area, to give it a shot. This trail will continue up into this canyon, cross the creek, and keep going up into the wilderness area. I don't know if I'd want to ski this, although I think people hike back up in here to ski, backcountry ski. I could be wrong about that. Bearing tree, an interesting little survey marker there. Some stuff engraved into it. Oh, come on now. I got a little confusion with this gimbal here. There we go. I figured it out. User error, as usual. For those, a lot of people ask about this, and I used to link to it in the description, but now, for various reasons, I don't. I'm using an iPhone 13 Pro at the moment with a DJI Osmo Mobile 5 gimbal, to be very specific. I'm also using the DJI wireless mic system, which the receiver part of that, when plugged in the phone, I think the phone draws power from it maybe, and the battery on the receiver goes dead quite quickly. In fact, it's about to go dead now. However, the microphones, that's funny, can record as independent recorders, so I've learned to push record on those too, so I'll have full recording, and the batteries on those do quite well. Got a black hollowed out trunk right there. It almost looks like a Yeti silhouette type thing, but it's not. This is Deep Creek we're descending down into. Oh, isn't that nice? Even with the clouds, it's pretty amazing. Look at the reds on these branches here. Like that. Ooh, neat ice has formed on this creek. Not on the surface because the water is so mobile, but any place where the water can sit for a minute. Here's a charred tree trunk. And it freezes up and it creates these really interesting, I'll try not to fall in here, no promises, really interesting structures and light patterns and all sorts of fun stuff. Kind of, maybe not fractal, but probably is fractal since it's crystals, but chaos theory generated sculpture almost. I think I spoke on our George Lake hike about the succession of these fires and how important it is these dead trees are for insects that feed birds, that feed other birds, for adding nutrients back into the soil. really, really intricate webs of nutrient transfer over decades and centuries. That tree looks like it could fall at any minute. Something to be aware of when you're walking in the woods. When we were in Budapest, and I've just been gone back and looked at some of those walks, did about 9 walks there. We took tried to take a guided hike through the countryside, the hills up in there, outside of Budapest. But the day we went, huge windstorm came through, and it's really kind of exciting and invigorating, but we got up on this ridge and we could hear all these big limbs, and it was a deciduous forest, cracking and falling, and trees falling over, and our guide chose a wise, safe, cautious option, and we turned around. And I totally respect him for that choice. It was a good choice. But it was an exciting day, and because of that, even though we had to turn around, it's one of the memories we hold on to, or I hold on to. Later in the season, you definitely have to be aware of avalanche-ish danger as you get further up into a place like this. Not so much right here, but back you can see these steep slopes, and there's a whole science around avalanches and snow structure that you really just need to be cautious of and aware of when you're coming back out here. It's a little slippery down here. I think a guy got really hurt back in here last year, backcountry skiing, and an avalanche kicked off. He ended up with a broken leg, and they had to come in here and get him. Not ideal situation. Here's our bridge. Let's pop over the creek real quick and take a look. This is not the bridge. That's the bridge. A root ball sticking up here. Oh. Love just being out here with you guys, sharing these walks, and I hope you enjoy them as well. That big old tree didn't make it. We're gonna go up here to the bridge, and Take another look. And so what happens is this trail branches off here, or it doesn't branch, it makes a left, and then switches back up to the right, goes up onto this bench up here, and then follows that side up into the mountains, further up into the mountains. And we are not gonna go up there today. We are at about 33 minutes or so. And batteries are saying, let's take a break. So thank you for joining us today from Deep Creek, Montana. Look at this icy stream, icy structures. This little narrow Forest Service bridge, not too perilous. And looking back down into Paradise Valley. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Come back again. Check out the website. We got all kinds of other walks that you can find easily, searchable, virtual tours of cities and virtual walking tours, that sort of thing for Treadmill. Let me know how you found us if you're new. And all of you guys, we'll see you again soon. Until then, keep on stepping.